Advanced Ram Dao fight is pretty much the same as the other one. There's just some details you need to think about. The idea here is that you're gonna do moving in cutscene with a no magic message at the end of the third wave. So you're able to move during the fourth wave. The thing about this trick, it saves 1 second. So this is like super optimal shit. It's really cool to do it, but it's one of those tricks that barely save any time. The real only part that is different, you need to be conscious about your camera, because their movement will be different depending on what your camera is. So first phase and second phase look about the same, but you just don't want to mess up your camera, okay? So we go here, we're gonna circle around this way and kill everything. And this last one, you see how I never go to the center, because you're gonna get this camera. If you get this camera, you can go back this way and you're gonna recover your camera, the camera that I want. Because if you go the other way, like this, you're gonna get this different camera. I don't want this camera, okay? You don't want that camera. You wanna recover it like this. So kill the last one, watch a cutscene, that's the same. For Japanese, I'm watching this cutscene. I can do that because in Japanese this cutscene works. On US you need to watch the rats, which is this one, okay? So this phase 2, run until here, more or less, for the first enemy, and do the same. Circle around, be aware of your camera, don't get inside the other camera, and then watch another one. Then after watching this cutscene, you change to Ram Dao. This way you save one scroll on the menu. So you equip Ram Dao and we go for phase 3. So we run for this guy and then body attacks. Wait until it's active to target, so you don't get an unintentional on-target attack. And then here we change the camera for the first time. So we get this central camera. And right after you do this attack on this Uyaoth, you're gonna do a recovery, okay? This is just to have a lot of health for the next of the chapter. And because you're waiting for the zombies anyways. And then what you have to do here is we need to get a no magic message before phase 4. And you have to do it on a specific place, which is around here, okay? Pay a lot of attention to this position right here. It's kind of in the middle of this square right here, you know, like looking towards the line, but not quite in the middle. It's a little bit before the middle because that's more or less where the next zombie is going to appear, okay? So actually, let's take a look at that here. This is phase 4. So you see the zombies there. You want to be here, not completely in the middle, otherwise the zombie will spawn on a slightly different place. If you are too much here, for example, you might be behind the zombie on phase 4. Let's see. Yeah, you see the spawn of the zombie got slightly modified. So for me, the position that kind of works is this. So I usually start on this line, more or less. So I'm gonna walk towards the position I want. And while I'm walking towards that position, I'm gonna spam recovery. So I get a no magic message, okay? That way. And then as soon as you get this, you're gonna get rid of the no magic message during the cutscene. And then do a pause. The pause is to recover movement. So the no magic message allows you to do a pause. And you just unpause immediately. Because now we have movement. You're free to move in like the room. You see I'm moving here. But the enemies are invincible during like half of the cutscene or so. So you can only attack this fucker when this turns around, more or less. It's a little bit before that, but basically that's when the hitboxes are active. You either practice to react when the zombie moves, or a tiny bit before that, you're gonna do a overhead attack. So target up A to get rid of one zombie, and then you wanna walk to do the same on the other zombie. And for that, the angle I'm gonna tell you what the angle is. Okay, so the angle for that to work, it's right and a little bit down. Down right should work most of the time if you don't run that much. On the other one, you have to run a little bit more. And I don't know exactly how much you need to run, maybe like a second, maybe less than a second. But that's probably something you have to mess around on your own to get your own timing and stuff like that. But those angles are good to work with, okay? So right there. So you see, you hear when you hit the first zombie. If you hear it, that means you hit and you can go for the angle I just told you. And then the next hit is gonna land more or less when the cutscene is already over. And from there you go to the other bone thief to kill it with an overhead attack, and then go back to this one, and then kill this one. And if you did everything good, you might get an auto cancel here on the pillar. There you go. Just because the movement there, it's adjusted to give you that pretty much always. And from there you can pause here, chakrams, change this to Uyath, and then finishing the bone thieves. And then the usual thing, go to the door, 1, 2, and cast. So that entire sequence saves 1 second. But when you get it, it feels really satisfying. It's really cool to get it. But yeah, it's like very optimal threads, I guess.